The Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene delves into the complexities of human behavior, offering a comprehensive guide to understanding the fundamental drives and motivations that shape how people act, think, and interact. Greene, well known for his previous works such as The 48 Laws of Power, The Art of Seduction, and Mastery, brings his unique perspective to this book. He blends insights from history, philosophy, psychology, and real-life experiences to provide a powerful framework for interpreting human nature. This book isn't merely a theoretical exploration. It is a practical guide to self-awareness and understanding others, helping readers navigate the complexities of social dynamics, relationships, and personal growth. At the heart of the laws of human nature is the idea that by understanding the intrinsic laws that govern our behavior, we can gain deeper insights into ourselves and others. According to Greene, these laws are deeply rooted in our biology, shaped by evolution and reinforced by culture. He emphasizes the importance of recognizing the often subconscious and irrational forces that drive us. By becoming aware of these tendencies, Greene argues, we can gain mastery over them and make more conscious, effective decisions in life. The book's central premise is that human behavior follows predictable patterns, and by learning to recognize these patterns, we can navigate relationships, work environments, and personal challenges with greater skill. Greene provides tools to decode human motivations, offering a roadmap for understanding emotions, managing impulses, and predicting actions. These insights are not only useful for personal growth, but also for gaining influence in social and professional settings. In this summary, we will explore the key laws presented in the book, breaking down the core concepts, themes, and insights that Robert Greene shares. Each law reveals a fundamental aspect of human nature, offering a clear, detailed explanation of how it operates and how we can use this understanding to our advantage in everyday life. Before we move on, if you're looking for more book summaries, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new summary. Now let's continue. The Laws of Human Nature covers a wide range of ideas, all centered around the notion that human beings are governed by deep-seated psychological forces that shape our behavior, often without us realizing it. One of the key themes of the book is self-awareness, or the idea that in order to master the external world, we must first master the internal one. Greene encourages to look inward, examine their own emotional triggers, and become conscious of the biases, impulses, and habits that drive their behavior. Without this self-awareness, we are at the mercy of unconscious forces that can lead us to make poor decisions or fall into destructive patterns. Another central theme is emotional intelligence, which Greene believes is critical to success in both personal and professional life. Emotional intelligence involves not only recognizing and managing one's own emotions, but also understanding and influencing the emotions of others. Throughout the book, Greene emphasizes the importance of empathy, social awareness, and the ability to read people effectively. By developing these skills, we can navigate complex social environments, build stronger relationships, and achieve greater influence. Power dynamics is another recurring theme in the book. Greene explores how human interactions are often shaped by power struggles, whether in the workplace, relationships, or society at large. He argues that by understanding the underlying motivations behind people's actions, we can better navigate these dynamics and avoid being manipulated. Greene's exploration of power is nuanced, showing that power can be used positively to build cooperation and trust, or negatively to dominate and control others. Greene also delves into the darker aspects of human nature, including envy, narcissism, and self-sabotage. He argues that while these traits are often viewed as negative, they are a natural part of the human experience and can be managed once they are recognized. By bringing these unconscious drives into the light, Greene suggests that we can transform them into more productive, constructive forces. For example, envy can be redirected into motivation for self-improvement, while narcissism can be balanced by developing empathy and humility. The book also emphasizes the importance of historical and philosophical perspectives in understanding human nature. Greene frequently draws on examples from history, using the lives of famous figures like Napoleon, Queen Elizabeth I, and Martin Luther King Jr. to illustrate his points. He shows how these individuals were able to navigate complex social dynamics, manage their emotions, and achieve great success by mastering the laws of human nature. These historical examples provide valuable context and demonstrate that the principles Greene discusses are timeless and applicable to all areas of life. Greene's writing is deeply practical. He provides not just theoretical insights, but also actionable strategies that can apply in their own lives. Each chapter includes exercises and suggestions for how to develop greater self-awareness, improve emotional intelligence, and master social interactions. These practical tips make the book an invaluable resource for anyone looking to enhance their personal and professional relationships, achieve success, and lead a more fulfilling life. The law of irrationality. The first law that Robert Greene presents in The Laws of Human Nature is the law of irrationality, which emphasizes the idea that human beings are naturally irrational. We like to think of ourselves as rational creatures, but the truth is that emotions and unconscious impulses often drive our decisions more than logic or reason. Greene argues that by acknowledging this irrationality, we can begin to take control of it, making more informed and deliberate choices rather than being at the mercy of our emotional whims. According to Greene, irrationality stems from our evolutionary past. Early humans had to rely on instincts and emotions to survive in dangerous environments. These emotional responses helped them avoid threats and bond with others, but in the modern world, these same impulses can lead to irrational behavior. For example, fear can cause us to avoid risks that might benefit us, while anger can lead us to make impulsive decisions that we later regret. One of the key insights in this law is the idea that we are often unaware of our own irrational tendencies. We may believe that we are acting rationally, but in reality, our emotions are influencing our decisions in ways we don't fully understand. Greene argues that by becoming more self-aware and recognizing the emotional triggers that drive our behavior, we can begin to counteract this irrationality. Greene provides several strategies for overcoming irrationality. First, he suggests developing emotional detachment. This means stepping back from a situation and observing it objectively, rather than reacting impulsively. By taking time to cool down and reflect, we can gain a clearer perspective and make more thoughtful decisions. Greene also recommends practicing self-reflection and journaling as tools for identifying emotional patterns and becoming more conscious of how emotions influence behavior. Another key strategy is developing empathy for others. Greene argues that by understanding the emotions and motivations of those around us, we can avoid reacting defensively or taking things personally. This empathy allows us to see the bigger picture and respond to situations more calmly and strategically. The law of narcissism. The law of narcissism is one of the most crucial concepts in the laws of human nature, as it highlights the pervasive role that self-interest and ego play in human behavior. Greene argues that narcissism is an inherent part of human nature, but it exists on a spectrum. While some degree of self-interest is necessary for survival and self-esteem, excessive narcissism can lead to destructive behavior and toxic relationships. Greene distinguishes between two types of narcissism: healthy and toxic. Healthy narcissism involves having a balanced sense of self-worth and the ability to look inward without being overly consumed by oneself. People with healthy narcissism are capable of empathy and can maintain positive relationships with others because they don't feel the need to constantly seek validation or dominate those around them. They are secure in their identity and do not require constant external approval to feel good about themselves. On the other hand, toxic narcissism involves an inflated sense of self-importance and a lack of empathy for others. People with toxic narcissism are often manipulative, self-centered, and obsessed with maintaining a superior image. They crave attention and validation, often at the expense of others, and may become hostile when their ego is threatened. Toxic narcissism can lead to dysfunctional relationships, as these individuals often prioritize their own needs above those of others and struggle to form genuine connections. Greene explains that we all have narcissistic tendencies to some degree, but by becoming aware of them, we can keep them in check. He encourages to develop a more balanced sense of self-worth by practicing empathy and learning to focus on the needs and feelings of others. One of the key strategies for managing narcissism is what Greene calls empathic accuracy, which involves putting yourself in someone else's shoes and seeing the world from their perspective. By doing so, we can develop a deeper understanding of others and form more authentic, fulfilling relationships. In addition, Greene warns that understanding narcissism is essential for dealing with narcissistic individuals in our lives. We are bound to encounter people who display toxic narcissism. Greene advises to avoid taking these individuals' behavior personally and instead see it as a reflection of their own insecurities. By maintaining emotional distance and not getting drawn into their ego-driven games, we can protect ourselves from their manipulative tendencies. The law of role-playing. In The Laws of Human Nature, Robert Greene introduces the law of role-playing, which examines the ways in which people present different versions of themselves to navigate social situations. Greene argues that we all wear masks to some degree, playing various roles depending on the context we find ourselves in. Whether consciously or unconsciously, people adopt different personas to fit into social settings, protect their vulnerabilities, and achieve their goals. Greene explains that this behavior is rooted in the social nature of human beings. Throughout history, humans have had to adapt to complex social environments in order to survive and thrive. As a result, we have developed the ability to adjust our behavior to fit the expectations and norms of the groups we are part of. This ability to role-play is not inherently deceptive. In fact, it is often necessary for social harmony. For example, in professional settings, people may adopt a more formal demeanor to appear competent and capable, while in personal relationships, they may show a more relaxed and vulnerable side. However, Greene warns that there is a danger in becoming too attached to these roles or in losing sight of one's true self. When people become overly invested in their social masks, they can lose authenticity and create shallow, inauthentic relationships. Furthermore, when people play roles that are inconsistent with their true nature, they may experience inner conflict, stress, and dissatisfaction. One of the key lessons of this law is the importance of understanding the roles that others play. Greene argues that by becoming more observant and reading between the lines of people's behavior, we can see beyond their masks and understand their true motivations. This skill of reading people is crucial for navigating social interactions and avoiding manipulation. For example, someone may present themselves as kind and generous, but if their actions are consistently self-serving, we can infer that they are playing a role to gain social approval. In addition to understanding others, Greene advises to become aware of the roles they themselves play and to develop a more conscious approach to role-playing. Rather than letting roles define them, Greene suggests that people should learn to adopt roles strategically, using them as tools to achieve their goals while staying grounded in their authentic selves. For example, in professional settings, adopting a more assertive or authoritative role can help one gain respect and influence, but this should be done with awareness and not at the expense of personal integrity. The law of compulsive behavior. The law of compulsive behavior focuses on the idea that much of our behavior is driven by unconscious patterns and habits that have been ingrained over time. Greene argues that human beings are creatures of habit, and these habits often dictate our actions without us even realizing it. While some habits can be beneficial, others can lead to self-destructive behavior, limiting our potential and sabotaging our success. According to Greene, compulsive behavior often stems from unresolved emotional issues or trauma. For example, someone who experienced abandonment in childhood may develop a compulsive need for approval or attention, constantly seeking validation from others to fill an emotional void. Similarly, someone who experienced failure or rejection may develop a compulsive fear of taking risks, leading to avoidance behaviors that prevent them from pursuing their goals. One of the key insights of this law is the idea that compulsive behavior is often a defense mechanism. It allows us to avoid confronting uncomfortable emotions or facing the reality of our situation. For example, someone who struggles with feelings of inadequacy may develop a compulsive need for perfectionism, believing that if they can just be perfect, they will finally feel worthy. However, this perfectionism can become paralyzing, leading to procrastination, anxiety, and burnout. Greene encourages to identify their own compulsive behaviors and trace them back to their emotional roots. By understanding the underlying emotions driving these behaviors, we can begin to break free from their grip. One of the strategies Greene recommends is mindfulness, which involves becoming more aware of our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors in the present moment. By practicing mindfulness, we can observe our compulsive tendencies without judgment and make more conscious choices. In addition, Greene suggests developing self-discipline as a way to counteract compulsive behavior. Self-discipline involves setting clear goals, creating structure, and holding oneself accountable for following through. By developing self-discipline, we can create new, healthier habits that replace compulsive patterns and lead to greater success and fulfillment. The law of envy. The law of envy addresses one of the most destructive emotions in human nature, envy. Greene argues that envy is a deeply ingrained emotion that arises from feelings of inadequacy, insecurity, and comparison to others. While envy is often seen as a negative or shameful emotion, Greene explains that it is a natural part of human nature, and understanding it is key to managing its impact on our behavior. Envy arises when we perceive that someone else has something we desire but do not possess, whether it be wealth, success, physical appearance, or social status. This perception triggers feelings of resentment, bitterness, and frustration, leading us to compare ourselves unfavorably to others. Envy can also manifest in subtle ways, such as through passive-aggressive behavior, gossip, or attempts to undermine the achievements of others. One of the key insights of this law is that envy is often hidden, both from others and from ourselves. People may not openly admit to feeling envious, as it can be seen as a sign of weakness or inferiority. Instead, envy may manifest in covert ways, such as through criticism, sabotage, or withholding praise. Greene emphasizes the importance of recognizing envy in both ourselves and others, as it can lead to toxic behaviors that damage relationships and hinder personal growth. Greene also points out that envy can be particularly dangerous in competitive environments, such as the workplace. In these settings, envy can lead to rivalries, power struggles, and a toxic atmosphere that undermines collaboration and trust. To avoid being consumed by envy, Greene advises to focus on their own goals and achievements rather than comparing themselves to others. He also suggests redirecting envy into positive action by using it as motivation to improve oneself rather than tearing others down. Another strategy for dealing with envy is practicing gratitude. Greene argues that by focusing on what we have rather than what we lack, we can cultivate a sense of contentment and appreciation that counteracts feelings of envy. Gratitude shifts our focus away from comparison and competition and towards a more positive and fulfilling perspective. The law of grandiosity. The law of grandiosity examines the dangers of inflated self-worth and hubris. Greene argues that while confidence is essential for success, there's a fine line between healthy confidence and destructive grandiosity. When people develop an exaggerated sense of their own importance, they become disconnected from reality and make poor decisions that can lead to their downfall. Grandiosity often arises when people achieve success or receive praise, leading them to believe that they are invincible or superior to others. This inflated self-image can result in overconfidence, arrogance, and a lack of humility. Greene points out that history is filled with examples of leaders, entrepreneurs, and public figures who were undone by their own grandiosity, from Napoleon Bonaparte to modern-day corporate executives. One of the key dangers of grandiosity is that it can lead to a sense of entitlement and a belief that the rules don't apply to you. People who become grandiose may take unnecessary risks, make impulsive decisions, or alienate those around them. Greene warns that grandiosity can be particularly destructive in leadership positions, where overconfidence can lead to poor judgment, mismanagement, and the loss of trust from followers. To counteract grandiosity, Greene advises to maintain a sense of humility and stay grounded in reality. This involves regularly reflecting on one's strengths and weaknesses, seeking feedback from others, and being willing to admit mistakes. Greene also emphasizes the importance of surrounding oneself with people who provide honest and constructive feedback rather than sycophants who reinforce grandiose beliefs. Greene also suggests practicing self-restraint and avoiding the temptation to seek constant validation or approval. By focusing on long-term goals and maintaining a balanced perspective, we can avoid the pitfalls of grandiosity and stay grounded in our pursuit of success. The law of gender rigidity. In The Laws of Human Nature, Robert Greene introduces the law of gender rigidity, which explores how rigid gender roles and stereotypes can limit our potential and hinder personal growth. Greene argues that traditional gender roles have been socially constructed over time, and that they often restrict individuals from fully expressing themselves and achieving balance in their lives. Greene explains that both masculine and feminine qualities exist within each individual regardless of biological sex. However, societal norms often push people to conform to narrow definitions of what is considered masculine or feminine. For example, men may feel pressured to suppress emotions and always appear strong or dominant, while women might be expected to be nurturing, passive, or less assertive. Greene suggests that this rigid adherence to gender roles stifles personal growth and emotional well-being because it prevents people from tapping into the full range of human traits and behaviors. According to Greene, gender rigidity can create internal conflict, particularly when individuals feel that their true selves do not align with societal expectations. This conflict can lead to feelings of inadequacy, anxiety, or resentment as people struggle to fit into roles that do not reflect their authentic nature. In contrast, Greene argues that true power and personal fulfillment come from embracing a balance of both masculine and feminine qualities, regardless of gender. One of the key points of this law is that traits traditionally associated with masculinity, such as assertiveness, competitiveness, and independence, and traits associated with femininity, such as empathy, emotional intelligence, and collaboration, are valuable for everyone. Greene advises to cultivate both sets of qualities in order to become more adaptable, well-rounded, and emotionally intelligent individuals. For example, a man who can embrace vulnerability and empathy will likely have more fulfilling personal relationships and be a better leader, while a woman who can confidently assert herself and take risks may achieve greater success in her career. Greene encourages to resist societal pressure to conform to rigid gender norms and instead to explore the full spectrum of human emotions, traits, and behaviors. Moreover, Greene points out that many successful historical figures embodied this balance between masculine and feminine qualities. Figures such as Queen Elizabeth I and Abraham Lincoln, for example, demonstrated both assertive leadership and emotional intelligence, using these traits to navigate complex political landscapes and achieve lasting success. The law of aimlessness. The law of aimlessness highlights the importance of having a clear sense of purpose and direction in life. Greene argues that aimlessness, drifting through life without clear goals or a sense of mission, is one of the greatest obstacles to personal and professional success. Without a clear purpose, individuals can easily become lost, overwhelmed, or distracted by the demands and challenges of daily life. According to Greene, having a sense of purpose is essential for motivation, focus, and resilience. When people are clear about what they want to achieve and why, they are more likely to stay disciplined, persevere through challenges, and make strategic decisions that move them closer to their goals. In contrast, those who lack purpose often find themselves reacting to external circumstances, rather than proactively shaping their lives. This can lead to a sense of frustration, confusion, and stagnation. Greene emphasizes that a strong sense of purpose comes from within and is shaped by one's values, passions, and personal vision. He advises to take the time to reflect on what truly matters to them and what kind of legacy they want to leave behind. This self-reflection is crucial for identifying long-term goals and aligning daily actions with a larger mission. In addition to personal fulfillment, Greene points out that having a clear sense of purpose can also enhance one's relationships and influence. People who are focused and driven by a larger mission tend to inspire others and attract support, while those who drift aimlessly may struggle to earn respect or build meaningful connections. One of the key strategies for overcoming aimlessness is to set clear, specific, and actionable goals. Greene suggests breaking down long-term goals into smaller, manageable steps that can be pursued on a daily basis. This approach not only provides structure and direction, but also builds momentum and confidence as each small achievement brings one closer to the larger goal. Greene also warns against the danger of letting external distractions and short-term desires derail one's sense of purpose. In a world filled with constant stimulation and competing demands for attention, it is easy to lose focus and get caught up in trivial pursuits. Greene advises to develop the discipline to say no to distractions and stay committed to their long-term vision. The law of repression. The law of repression explores the psychological and emotional consequences of suppressing one's true feelings, desires, and instincts. Greene argues that many people are conditioned by society to repress their emotions, often out of fear of rejection, judgment, or conflict. However, this repression can lead to a range of negative outcomes, including emotional tension, inner conflict, and destructive behavior. Repression occurs when individuals push down or deny aspects of themselves that they believe are unacceptable or inappropriate. This can include emotions such as anger, sadness, fear, or even joy, as well as desires and instincts that may conflict with societal norms or personal ideals. Greene explains that while repression may seem like a way to maintain control or avoid discomfort, it often leads to psychological strain and unproductive behavior in the long run. One of the dangers of repression is that suppressed emotions do not simply disappear. They often resurface in unhealthy ways. For example, someone who represses their anger may eventually lash out in an explosive manner, while someone who suppresses their desires may develop unhealthy coping mechanisms such as addiction or self-sabotage. Greene argues that repression creates an internal pressure that can lead to impulsive or destructive behavior if not properly addressed. In addition to the personal consequences of repression, Greene points out that it can also affect relationships. People who repress their emotions may struggle to communicate honestly with others, leading to misunderstandings, resentment, and emotional distance. Repression can create a barrier to intimacy and authentic connection, as individuals may feel unable to express their true thoughts and feelings. To counteract the effects of repression, Greene advises to practice emotional honesty and self-acceptance. This involves acknowledging and embracing one's emotions, desires, and instincts, even when they are uncomfortable or difficult to face. By becoming more self-aware and accepting of one's inner experiences, individuals can reduce the psychological strain of repression and develop healthier ways of expressing themselves. Greene also suggests finding constructive outlets for emotions. For example, physical activities such as exercise or creative pursuits like art and writing can provide a healthy release for pent-up emotions. Additionally, practicing open communication with trusted friends, partners, or therapists can help individuals express their feelings and desires in a safe and supportive environment. The law of conformity. The law of conformity focuses on the powerful influence that social pressure and the need for acceptance have on human behavior. Greene argues that humans are inherently social creatures who seek approval and belonging, often at the cost of individuality and independent thinking. While conforming to social norms can promote harmony and cooperation, it can also stifle creativity, originality, and personal freedom. Greene explains that the desire to fit in is deeply rooted in human nature. Throughout history, survival often depended on being part of a group, and individuals who were ostracized or rejected by their community face significant risks. As a result, humans have developed a strong instinct to conform to the values, beliefs, and behaviors of those around them. This instinct can lead people to suppress their true thoughts and desires in order to avoid conflict or rejection. One of the key insights of this law is that conformity is not always conscious. People may conform without even realizing it, adopting the attitudes and behaviors of their social group because it feels natural or expected. Greene points out that this can be particularly dangerous in environments where groupthink prevails, as individuals may suppress dissenting opinions or critical thinking in order to align with the majority. Greene warns that excessive conformity can lead to a loss of individuality and self-awareness. When people prioritize social approval over their own values and beliefs, they may lose touch with their authentic selves and become disconnected from their true desires and goals. This can lead to feelings of dissatisfaction, frustration, and a lack of fulfillment as individuals live lives that are shaped by external expectations rather than internal conviction. To counteract the effects of conformity, Greene advises to cultivate independent thinking and self-awareness. This involves questioning social norms, reflecting on one's own beliefs and values, and being willing to stand apart from the crowd when necessary. Greene encourages to develop the courage to embrace their uniqueness and resist the pressure to conform to societal expectations. However, Greene also acknowledges that there are times when conformity is necessary or strategic. For example, in professional settings, it may be beneficial to align with certain organizational norms in order to build trust and rapport. The key, according to Greene, is to strike a balance between conforming when it serves a purpose and maintaining one's individuality and authenticity in the process. The law of fickleness. The law of fickleness delves into the unpredictable nature of human emotions and desires, highlighting how easily our preferences and affections can shift. Greene asserts that fickleness is a fundamental aspect of human behavior, influenced by a variety of factors including mood, social context, and external circumstances. This law serves as a reminder that people are not only inconsistent in their desires, but also highly susceptible to change, which can complicate relationships and interpersonal dynamics. At its core, fickleness stems from the complexity of human emotions. Greene posits that our feelings are often transient, influenced by immediate circumstances and external stimuli. For example, someone may feel enthusiastic about a project one day, but lose interest the next due to a change in mood or new information. This inconsistency can manifest in both personal and professional relationships, as people may become enamored with someone only to later find their feelings waning. Understanding this fundamental truth about human nature can help individuals navigate the emotional landscape of their relationships more effectively. Moreover, fickleness can lead to conflicts and misunderstandings. When someone expresses affection or commitment one moment but seems indifferent the next, it can create confusion and insecurity in relationships. Greene highlights that this inconsistency often triggers feelings of jealousy, anxiety, and resentment, which can further complicate interactions. People may feel compelled to seek validation from others, leading them to act out in ways that are reactive rather than intentional. One key aspect of addressing fickleness is recognizing that it is a natural part of being human. Greene advises individuals to cultivate an awareness of their own shifting emotions and desires without becoming overly attached to any single state of mind. This perspective allows for greater emotional resilience and helps to mitigate the negative effects of fluctuating feelings. By embracing the idea that change is inevitable, individuals can approach their relationships with a sense of curiosity rather than fear. To navigate the challenges of fickleness, Greene recommends fostering emotional intelligence. This involves being attuned to one's feelings and those of others, allowing for more empathetic and constructive communication. When we understand that people may change their minds or feelings, it becomes easier to respond with patience and openness. Instead of taking someone's shifting affections personally, we can approach them with a mindset of understanding and exploration. Additionally, Greene emphasizes the importance of commitment in relationships as a counterbalance to fickleness. While emotions may fluctuate, establishing mutual commitments and shared goals can provide a stabilizing influence that helps individuals navigate their differences. By reinforcing the bonds of trust and connection, couples and partners can create a safe space for vulnerability, which can ultimately foster deeper understanding and acceptance of each other's complexities. The law of death denial. The law of death denial addresses a fundamental aspect of human existence, our awareness of mortality. Greene argues that the fear of death is a powerful force that shapes human behavior, influencing our decisions, relationships, and overall approach to life. While many individuals try to deny or avoid contemplating death, this denial can lead to a shallow and unfulfilled existence. Greene suggests that the denial of death often manifests in various ways, including the pursuit of superficial pleasures, the accumulation of wealth, or the quest for power. People may distract themselves from the reality of mortality by focusing on material possessions or status, believing that these achievements will grant them a sense of permanence or legacy. However, Greene warns that such pursuits are ultimately hollow and can lead to a life devoid of true meaning. Understanding the inevitability of death can serve as a catalyst for personal growth and transformation. Greene encourages individuals to confront their mortality head-on, using it as a motivating force to live more fully and authentically. By acknowledging the finite nature of life, we can prioritize what truly matters: our relationships, passions, and contributions to the world. This perspective can inspire us to take risks, pursue our dreams, and create lasting connections with others. One of the key insights of this law is that acceptance of death can lead to a greater appreciation for life. When we recognize that our time is limited, we are more likely to savor moments, embrace experiences, and engage deeply with those around us. Greene advocates for embracing a mindset of gratitude, which allows individuals to focus on the present rather than being consumed by anxiety about the future or regret about the past. Additionally, Greene discusses the concept of legacy, how we want to be remembered after we are gone. This awareness can motivate individuals to live with intention and purpose, striving to make a positive impact on others and the world at large. By considering the kind of legacy we wish to leave behind, we can align our actions with our values and goals, creating a sense of direction that transcends the fear of death. In relationships, the law of death denial underscores the importance of authenticity and vulnerability. Understanding that life is fleeting can encourage us to communicate openly, express our feelings, and resolve conflicts in a timely manner. By prioritizing meaningful connections and addressing unresolved issues, we can cultivate deeper, more fulfilling relationships that honor the preciousness of life. The law of asceticism explores the concept of self-discipline and the benefits of embracing restraint and moderation in various aspects of life. Greene posits that the modern world often glorifies excess, instant gratification, and hedonistic pursuits, leading individuals to seek temporary pleasures rather than lasting fulfillment. In contrast, asceticism emphasizes the power of self-control, simplicity, and a focus on inner growth. Greene suggests that the practice of asceticism is not about denying oneself pleasures entirely, but rather about cultivating a balanced approach to life. By embracing moderation, individuals can develop resilience, clarity of purpose, and a deeper understanding of their true desires. This law highlights that true fulfillment often comes from the ability to delay gratification and make intentional choices aligned with long-term goals. One of the key benefits of asceticism is its potential to foster mental clarity and emotional stability. When individuals learn to manage their impulses and desires, they create space for deeper reflection and self-awareness. This heightened awareness allows for more conscious decision-making and a greater sense of control over one's life. Greene argues that those who practice restraint are better equipped to navigate challenges, resist distractions, and maintain focus on their objectives. Additionally, Greene emphasizes that asceticism can enhance creativity and productivity. By eliminating unnecessary distractions and simplifying one's environment, individuals can tap into their creative potential and generate innovative ideas. This aligns with the principle of minimalism, which advocates for decluttering both physical spaces and mental processes in order to cultivate a more intentional and fulfilling life. In relationships, asceticism can foster deeper connections by encouraging individuals to prioritize quality over quantity. Rather than spreading oneself too thin across numerous superficial interactions, practicing restraint can lead to more meaningful and fulfilling relationships. Greene encourages individuals to invest their time and energy into the relationships that truly matter, cultivating deeper connections that provide emotional support and understanding. Moreover, Greene points out that asceticism can be a powerful tool for personal growth and self-discovery. By embracing challenges and discomfort, individuals can develop resilience and a stronger sense of self. This process of self-exploration often leads to a deeper understanding of one's values, passions, and goals, creating a more authentic and fulfilling life experience. To apply the law of asceticism in everyday life, Greene suggests setting boundaries and creating routines that prioritize personal growth and well-being. This may involve limiting exposure to distractions, establishing healthy habits, and creating time for introspection and reflection. By embracing moderation and self-discipline, individuals can cultivate a greater sense of fulfillment and purpose in their lives. In The Laws of Human Nature, Robert Greene provides profound insights into the complexities of human behavior, shedding light on the underlying forces that shape our actions, relationships, and perceptions. The laws explored throughout the book serve as a comprehensive guide for understanding ourselves and others, equipping us with the tools to navigate the intricate dynamics of human interaction. By embracing these laws, individuals can cultivate greater self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and interpersonal skills. Understanding the impact of emotional currents, social dynamics, and psychological patterns allows us to build stronger, more authentic relationships and avoid the pitfalls of self-destructive behavior. The journey of integrating the laws into our lives involves ongoing reflection and practice. By recognizing the tendencies outlined in each law, we can challenge our assumptions, confront our biases, and develop a deeper understanding of the motivations that drive our actions and those of others. This process fosters empathy, compassion, and resilience, empowering us to respond to challenges with greater wisdom and intention. Furthermore, the laws encourage us to embrace our complexity as human beings. Rather than striving for rigid notions of self-improvement or perfection, we can acknowledge the nuances of our emotions, desires, and relationships. By accepting the inherent messiness of human nature, we can cultivate a more authentic and fulfilling existence. Greene's exploration of human nature serves as a reminder that we are all interconnected and influenced by the same fundamental forces. By embracing the principles outlined in the laws of human nature, we can navigate the intricacies of our relationships and contribute to a more compassionate and understanding world. Through self-awareness, empathy, and conscious action, we can harness the power of our shared humanity to create meaningful connections and live more fulfilling lives. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more bookish content. I'd love to hear your take on this book. Drop your comments below. Did it live up to the hype?